Hi, this is Tom Childers. I'm back. I'm talking about a table here. Start with colors, symbols, virtues, and ideologies. We're going to stand right here at blue. The Holy Spirit. Knowledge and elitism. Now, this idea sometimes gets like a little bit of flack, but we should remember that the cloud exists because of those people that embody this virtue. Also, I would say that the drafters of the Constitution resided in this area, like Ben Franklin in particular. Jefferson, Madison. And the source of open source coding and the development of the internet all comes from the energy of the sky and like the facts of nature and the way that we all integrate with each other and understand. The idea of knowledge is a particular set of. It's about finding truth through using. It's about finding information that is true through wisdom, and then the resultant body of information is not considered knowledge, and it grows and grows and grows. It is as expansive as the skies and the deep blue sea, and so we actually have no ends, no limits to the amount of importance that our knowledge-based industries are going to grow to be, and to support and to hold and uphold society as it develops. There's a lot of future in the ethos of this energy and idea. Now, along with that comes the ideology of elitism. Now, it's not exactly how it sounds, because like right now, this basically I share a lot of sympathy with a disgruntled youth movement or people that have been like left out of society, and we're against the elitists because they have all the power and they've gotten a lot of things wrong, and so we don't actually have an actual solution per se either, because we can't lose this, because it's impossible to lose. If we remove certain elites, then other elites are going to replace those elites, and if they're less elite, we're actually bringing everything down. And so the idea of like a meritocracy is a way to understand how those who are capable ought to do what they're capable of doing. And that's a very simple way of saying, leave well enough alone. But there are problems that come with positions of power and authority, and people close the ranks. They get entrenched into the feeding industries that support the different industries. They put up big barriers. Like class ossification is a stratification of classes amongst the society, probably mostly by economic groups, and they congeal and solidify so that you lose upward mobility. There are you know, history is filled with like aristocracy and peasant classes. You know, and India has a, like, I think it's like a four-based class system. In China about 20 years ago, I remember you didn't have not just like economic, social mobility. You actually didn't even have physical mobility. They had checkpoints at all of their like farmland regions to keep you there, not like allowed to go anywhere else. But I'm not like picking on these countries either, because like, you know, watch Three Kings about Iraq and the borders. Like most nations have border crossings. I mean, even going to Canada and coming back, like you have to mind your passports and stuff. Like they got Mounties like standing there guarding the road. And so there is value in having elites handle the tasks that require high proficiency, and there's really no other way about it, and the managing of that is kind of tricky, and the force, the spiritual, like divine entity that represents this energy is the Holy Spirit, which is, it's the sense of understanding that comes through awareness, and the way that you gain access to the Holy Spirit, as discussed in the Bible, you know, as preached by Jesus and the rest of the prophets of Christianity, is by learning and by reading, by listening, and by integrating it into your understanding. And through that, you build up reserves that you can then pull out, or have, that will appear for you as the Holy Spirit comes to you in the moment of need. And you come up with the answer. And that's what we do. That's what humans are all about. I mean, it's the divine power of the Holy Spirit that is holy when it's based on a clean foundation that requires discipline and basing your life around spiritual truths on sacred wisdom and the real world as it is, and through them comes the Holy Spirit. I'm gonna stop after talking about this one corner.